shirt shoes, little sister, because we're about to blast off.
Ralph, what is it you're trying to say?
We're going on the internet.
What?
Wow. Look at all this stuff.
This is the most beautiful miracle I've ever seen.
To the search bar. What can I help you find today? Umbrella, umbrage, umami.
No.
Noah's Ark, no doubt. Nordstrom Rack, ergonomics, urban outfitters, cool.
I'm pretty sure he's just trying to guess what you're gonna say.
My autofill is a touch aggressive today.
Let me try. Take me to a website that's super intense and really nuts.
Oh, I only found one result.
Oh, come on. Princesses and cartoon characters barf. Whoa! Cool!
You're coming with us, kid.
Hi. Whoa, ladies, I'm a princess too.
What kind of a princess are you?
Do you have magic hair?
No.
Magic hands?
No.
Do animals talk to you?
No.
Were you poisoned?
No.
Cursed?
No.
Kidnapped or enslaved?
No. Are you guys okay? Should I call the police?
Do people assume all your problems got solved because a big strong man showed up?
Yes. What is up with that?
She is a princess.
Ralph breaks the internet.
Shouldn't it be Ralph wrecks the internet?
Yes, since he is Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, but break the internet, it's like a thing.
Right, it's just wreck the internet. Kind of sounds better, doesn't it?
You're not wrong.
Hey everyone, it's me, Jesse. I know, a bit surprising, isn't it? That I'm starting it. But except I won't be alone for too long, considering since I got a special guest. The best SOB who ever lived, as well as pretty much the best wrestling fan I've ever seen. Let me introduce you to my friend, CARTOONZ.
You think you know me?
The best SOB who ever lived.
What is good, everybody? I'm back. The Black and Red OC.
And
Edgelord, Abuse, and Trolla.
you know it. Indeed. So then, what shall we talk about then today, Cartoon?
Well, pretty much we just seen Wreck-It Ralph 2 breaks the internet, so pretty much we're talking about Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, pretty much, and I gotta tell you, it is Reference City all over the place. Reference City, I'm telling you. It starts out as that of the 80s, nights and every day back at the arcade. And that's when our two favorite characters, Wreck-It Ralph, as well as in pretty much the Princess of Sugar Rush, who is now one of the characters, are just in hanging out at then pretty much the football game, and also enjoying a few root beers at pretty much the bar.
Taverns.
Pretty much.
He never give us a bum steal.
He never does. He never does. And then pretty much our dear friend Penelope starts saying, but then how then pretty much the game is now a bit so predictable. I mean, after all, it's always the same thing. The same three tracks, the same opponents. It's always the same. Nothing changes.
But what does Ralph do? He does something special for Penelope.
Yep, at pretty much the exit, or should I say, and then near pretty much the finish line. But except before then that happened, the only arcade plugs in a new thing into pretty much the outlet and everyone came there to see what it is, and they didn't know what it was. Wifey, waifu,
Wifey? What?
it's Wi-Fi,
wow.
Sonic says. It was
Wi-Fi, wow.
Yep, that's what then Sonic said. It was Wi-Fi. Or in other words, it links to the internet, but then who comes along? The blue buzzkill himself. And then he puts tape all in front of the door and telling them to stay away from it because it's new and it'll cause nothing but trouble. Buzzkill. But except that, like in Cartoons mentioned, Ralph actually makes a bit of a sidetrack next to one of him on the way track called Rocky Road. It's because then he wanted to make a new track for then Penelope, but except something went wrong. Because since the track wasn't part of him not the actual game, Penelope was the one playing the game and not the player. And the next thing you know, she pretty much turned the wheel so flipping hard, it broke it. It accidentally broke the wheel off the game. And
First, this is how it started. The kids started playing that race car game.
yep.
Then all of a sudden the kid's like, huh? Then Penelope,
Whoop.
huh? Then Penelope, then what happened? The steering wheel broke.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And then after that, the game had to be unplugged. Oh man. And everyone was crying and whining until then Felix and his new wife, wink wink,
Yeah, we get it.
decided to take the races into their home. But boy, did that backfire! Because it one came up the blue buzzkill, took the two into the kitchen to talk to them about it, and they said, "What the worst that can happen?" But then what happens? They come walking into the living room, and those kids are trying to race all over the place, and came up the lollipop girl said, "Hey, Dad, why does your television only have one channel?"
Having all those kids, what can possibly go wrong? Lots of things.
Dang right. But then that's when the blue booker said, "Well, I hate to tell you so, but except that when something came on and boom!" And then I said, "Finally, someone finally hit him." You won't believe how often I've been waiting for that. For him to finally get a cork in it. But then poor Penelope was lost. Especially since then without Sugar Rush, what is she? She's always been a racer. But now what? No Sugar Rush? No race? Nothing. And so then Ralph tried to make her feel happy by trying to make a fort out of pillows and blankets. But except it didn't work.
Nope.
So then Ralph went down the taverns to go get a root beer and happened to have saved one for Penelope. And saved one for the Penelope, but except he didn't show up.
Mm-mm.
But except then Felix did. And was like, "Well, I was saving this for then Penelope, well, I guess then you can have it."
Here you go, Felix.
Thanks, Ralph. I'm gonna need this. Having all those kids, I thought it would have been great, but oh no, was I wrong. But then while the two happened to be talking, that's when then Felix said something, and then Well put two and two together, and then he didn't realize they could just try to then buy the real part of the internet from eBay. And then pretty much in Felix, who usually happens to be a guy for the rules, he pretty much said, and then go for it, Ralph. Because it's like killing two birds with one stone. Not only would Penelope be happy, but except those wedges can finally get out of Felix's hair. But then, just as soon as Ralph was then leaving, the the uh, the uh, the uh, the uh, the owners of Tab tabs. Hey, well, but then, hey, well, but then, hey, well, but then, what about your tab? But then that's when Ralph said, Felix got it. All rupees on him.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy.
Oh, good. I'm gonna feel sorry for then Felix's wallet in the morning. Yeah. So then that's when then Ralph went to go. Oh. And then went to then go get Penelope, and then that's what they went into Wi-Fi after telling the blue buzzkill that someone was breaking the rules somewhere else, and he fell for hook, line, and sinker.
Hmm.
But except when they got there, it wasn't as exciting as they thought. It was kind of empty. But except that was because it wasn't even turned on yet,
Hello, anybody here?
and they found a good echo, and it was one heck of a good echo. But then that's when pretty much the arcade owner uh, then decided to finally hook up. And he did. And then that's when then Penelope and Ralph went from the arcade right to the internet. And poor Ralph landed face first.
And this is where all the references comes in.
It's a weapons galore. And I mean, weapons galore.
Left and right. Facebook, Google, Amazon, Twitter, DC, Marvel, Muppets.
As well as tons of others, such as the dark web, for an example.
I wish they put porn over there, but oh well.
Remember, the kids could be watching this.
Oh well.
Just saying. Just try to be more polite to our hosts. Yeah, but except even if it was there, do you really think it would be put out on plain sight? I mean, seriously, it's a kids' movie. Wouldn't you want to? Well, I guess I could see that as a few seconds, like the time on when then Ralph was happened to be then walking down the dark web alleyway. I guess that I guess it down in one of him of the alleyways, I could see a 5 second beep sign of it. But only 5 seconds, because since after all, it is still a kids' movie.
Then they go to this guy with all the information.
Oh, yes. But except that's where, yes. But except first up, it was eBay. But then to try and find the wheel, and they didn't know how to do the actual thing right because they kept on bidding higher and higher and higher and higher until then the next thing you know, oh boy, don't get me started about the amount of money. For heaven's sakes, how are you going to get that much moolah?
Then all the pop-ups showed up saying, hey, click on this. Hey, click on this. Hey, click on this.
Yep. And even one of them mentioned about then how then you could get rich while then playing video games. While meeting a search guy, of course, who was kind of polite.
Well, back to the eBay part.
Yep, but except that's when they realized they had to actually buy the darn thing.
Do I hear $1? Do I hear 100?
Do I hear 10,000? Do I hear 1,000? Do I hear 1,000,000? Sold, sir!
Yes.
But then that's when they realized have to pay it up within the day, or else it's off the market.
You know what? I think I left my money back in my other trousers.
Yes, all sort. The classic excuse I've always seen that. I mean, seriously. But except that's when they then went to go see the gamer guy who just got pushed down because of a then pop-up blocker. And then that's when they agreed to go steal this one person's car from a game called Blood Race, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got there, oh boy, was it messy.
Let's just say that it's similar to Mad Max and
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal and Death Race.
Yeah, indeed. But except I think it mostly reminds me of Payday. Well, it's because on all of the gangs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I never played the game Payday, but except that after seeing the gameplay of it, I do see the comparisons. And Saints Row, it kind of reminds me of Saints Row 2, a little bit. But except while they're trying to find the car, that's when they found in 2 game was about to then steal the car. But then who comes up but the gang who guards it? And guess what? It was actually 2 YouTubers in real life voice acting for this movie.
Yeah, they put some couple of YouTubers in this movie.
The best of the best. And they got fumed when they got hit.
Even one YouTuber I know named Cupquake, yeah, she got put in the movie too.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Yeah. But except that when the Ralph and Penelope haven't had a good idea, or so they thought. Ralph pretended to then be pretty much this inspector of noise, and they tried to steal the car, but it backfired.
Adios, suckers.
Uh-oh. Help us, suckers! And then that's when the gang cornered them, but except they understood once Ralph explained the whole in detail. So then that's when she decided to send. So then, that's when they decided to send them to Yes, a friend of hers who happened to own something like YouTube. I forgot the name of it though, but except it's like YouTube.
Let's just call her the blue lady.
If I was talking about the website, that's in where she was pretty much the head honcho of. But yeah, close enough. But except that's when she tried to help him out. But except the video that then Ralph got sent, it was getting some likes, but then it went down the drain.
Let's just say it's a bunch of memes with Ralph.
That happened later, because then once Ralph realized what he had to do, he pulled out all the stops. And I mean, he pulled out everything. Actually putting the head upon a lamb, and also making a burnt pie, and opening up a jar full of peas, and he even did the painting thing, like, okay then, folks, I'm gonna paint a nice little happy bush right here.
Oh, that's a reference to Bob, whatever his name is, Bob something.
Oh, right there. How about then just a nice happy bush, and maybe even just a nice then happy cloud, and maybe even a nice and flowing stream and all that. There we go. You like that? You like that, buddy?
Now, if you tell anybody I put that bush there, I will come in and I'll straight ass murder you. Well, it doesn't look like anything like mine. I'll help it.
And that was actually from then.
Family Guy reference.
Yeah, pretty much. But close enough.
Even Deadpool does the reference too of them.
Yeah, indeed. But I think in Deadpool happened to did it better. But except in that when then Yes decided to then send out her agent to go send out pop-ups all over the place. And even send Penelope. But except at first, Yes was going to send her to pretty much wipe to him of the games upon and where then Blood Rage was, which wouldn't be good considering since going back to Blood Rage would be a bad influence on her. So then Rob decided to send her to pretty much the only place safe enough for a kid. Disney.
Disney Universe.
And there she ran into then the greats, such as in Buzz Lightyear, one example, Groot, and she also ran into some stormtroopers who were trying to capture her.
Oh, Disney reference you can see.
But except in while Penelope was running, that's when she ran past someone who was a great man. The great Stan Lee.
Moment of silence.
For the greatest man, Marvel world. But then afterwards, that's when the Penelope ran past the fox from then
Zootopia.
Yep. And then afterwards happened to ran past pretty much the refreshments, and then who's taking a break? Peter Pan, Saddle, and Grumpy. I mean, seriously. How the heck did Peter Pan and Saddle take a break? It's a saddle!
This movie has it all. Easter eggs, references. It
Right.
has it all.
Including the kitchen sink, and I can't believe I said that. Yeah, but except in walking with the stormtroopers, and then within about to then close in on her, but except and thanks to her special glitch, she managed to then glitch through pretty much the door and popped up right in the middle of all the princesses, and oh boy, get ready to die.
Oh boy.
I mean, and seriously, Cinderella literally broke one of her glass slippers to get ready.
You wanna die, sucker?
I mean, seriously. But except once the Penelope actually sat down and talked to them, well, that's when they all became buddies. And they even explained about them some of their secrets. Like, for an example, and then just by looking into something special kind of water, you can find yourself a princess song that comes from the heart.
Even Penelope had her own little Disney quote song.
And they even managed to then, and they also managed to then tell them about themselves. About then how then pretty much our favorite it like that how then that of their Luana happened to have command over him of the water, and then Ariel happened to be a dang good swimmer because after all then she used to be a mermaid and all that, and so forth and so on. But except that's when then the princesses had to go back out to take care of the customers. And then Penelope happened around to go try and solve some problems. But except then things just didn't get worse and worse for pretty much the two.
Had you been poisoned, captured by slaves, and so forth, as the princess explained. But go on.
Yeah, pretty much. But except the real problem is in that then Ralph became so desperate for pretty much the videos, he had to pull out all the stops to get all the light for him to get the moolah needing to get the wheel.
He was YouTube famous.
Until Ralph went into the back and found the one thing you should never look at while being public on YouTube. The one rule you never do on YouTube or anywhere like that. You don't read the comments. It was because at first the comments seemed to be good and happy until they started getting trolled. Until pretty much they started turning into trolls and things of such. But then that's when Yes found them and said, oh, I forgot to mention about the one rule. Never read the comments. Yes, but except then don't you pay attention to them, Ralph. It's nothing that big. It's just them being them.
Ralph sucks. Ralph is dumb and stupid.
Yep.
How can this dude live with himself?
But except in Ralph said, I don't care. I'm used to it by this point. But then that's when Yes told him the big news. He finally hit it. He finally got the money needed to get the wheel. So then that's when he then tried to then call up Penelope for pretty much some kind of a special pad. But except
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, my only hope.
But except the only problem was it was on mute. But except and what Penelope did not know is that then Ralph was listening in to pretty much the conversation between her and the main character from then Blood Race. And well, then Ralph felt betrayed. So then that's when he decided to go down into him on the dark web to get a nice, nasty little virus. And oh boy, did it work too well. It worked a bit too well, considering that it started making the game fall apart until pretty much the darn thing had to be rebooted. And then Penelope, but then Ralph told the truth, and then Penelope got ticked off, and then ran away, and then...
You're gonna love this. You're pretty much gonna laugh at this. Then Ralph tells her what happened, and...
And then Penelope pretty much blew a gasket. And then yelled at Ralph, and then told Ralph to then go away, and to then leave her alone. And then because Sans and Ralph felt so sad and sorrowful, the virus pretty much found it, saw the problem, and they made it worse. Yep. The virus literally made the Wreck-It Ralph virus.
Too much Wreck-It Ralphs.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yep, with the almost broke the internet, hence the title.
It's like too much Pinkie Pies.
Yeah, but at least then Pinkie Pie's a lot better. I mean, after all, then think about it. After all, think about this. What would you rather have? A giant guy whose hands are big enough to break down buildings or anything of the sort, or a party pony who can't harm anything except just in full parties. I'll tell you one thing. I would pick a swarm of Pinkie Pies over Ralph because at least then Pinkie Pie won't crust you. On purpose, at least. Yeah, but except that when things started going crazy, especially when poor Penelope happened to ran into pretty much a few of the viruses, and then that's when she ran like all bloody heck to go find the search guy, and they happened to have barricaded pretty much the door, and then the wheel out came through the door, and they thought it was one of the doubles. But then, thanks to pretty much the search, that's when they found out two answers. Either A, happened to get them all into therapy, which would take a flippin' fortune, or just to make them run through pretty much the front gate of pretty much the virus protection building, because the payment of the gate automatically deletes any viruses which then hits it. So then it was pretty much that. But except, how are they going to get all those viruses there? Answer: find a Pied Piper, and that would be yes. And then that's when they managed to then get the Ralphs to run. But except things backfired when they managed to work together to make, I can't believe I'm saying this, flippin' Wreck-It Call. Banana? Okay. Sorry. Okay. But,
And what does this?
I did it.
And what does this big, giant, evil, Wreck-It Ralph giant do? He climbs the top of Google.
Like flipping King Kong on the Empire State Building while holding Penelope. I mean, seriously, King Kong eat your heart out.
King Kong reference.
Big time. But then Ralph tries to then give him a hand. Literally and metaphorically. But except things backfired until then Ralph realized the answer was to just tell all the Ralphs to just let her go. I mean, yes, sure, it's going to be hard to let her go considering since they have been friends. But just one thing though, a true friend would not get in the way. Quote and unquote. And well, the giant Ralph, well, he realized that the normal Ralph was right. And I swear to heaven almighty, if the Twilight and the girls were there, they would be grinning from ear to ear saying, well then, it looked like someone took a page out of my handbook. Hook bump, yeah. Bump, cha. Yep, but except there was one little problem Ralph forgot. When pretty much the big Ralph started vanishing, he started to fall. And then except that's when Flick, the game guy, he tried to and catch Ralph out of the car, but whoop! Whoops. He went right through it. Oh, then good work, bonehead. But then the princesses saw what was happening, And they then decided to then work together to pretty much try to then catch him, which they did by putting him in a dress. And let me tell you something, it didn't fit him very well.
And let me put it in these terms as Family Guy reference. You gotta kiss him up to wake him up. I mean, you gotta kiss him. What did Stewie? You gotta kiss him. You gotta.
Kiss him to wake him up.
Yeah, there we go. You gotta kiss him to wake him up.
Oh, heck no!
I'm gonna go get Greg. Oh.
Oh, no, I'm up. And then that's what I thought. Yeah. But except it all worked out in the world because, and thanks to that, the virus is now gone. Pretty much the virus is all gone. And the internet is now working again. Now for the time. But then that's when Ralph and Penelope decided to go their own ways. While then Ralph went back to the arcade with the wheel in tow, while then Penelope stayed behind to play her the new game, Blood Race. And pretty much the two still stay intact. But excepting things have changed at pretty much the arcade since then. I mean, yes, so pretty much the wheel's now working, and the game's not working, and everyone's back inside a circle bus, but except things have changed. For an example, the races are now nicer to each other, and the game's a lot better. And then pretty much the blue guy mentioned, how in the heck did then you two manage to get those races to be well behaved? And then does it, well, first you wait. And then you wait.
And then boom.
That was the racing thing. I was trying to make it sound like it was a race going by.
Yeah, when they were talking about how they would
Oh yeah, right.
deal with the kids, and it goes boom. Then you boom.
And then that was whoa. If there ain't grown-ups happen to heard that, take that to heart. And then that's when then we said, how? I mean, seriously, how are you supposed to know this? The car's so bad every time they were trying to say something. But at least they're happy now, at least. And then pretty much it then ends up with then Ralph talking to then Penelope on pretty much that then pad thing. And they pretty much said, well, I guess I'll see you around when you come for a visit. And get, oh right, boss. And then almost forgot something. Well, also joined in Zanky's book club. I mean,
Oh, come on, Zach.
all right.
Being thighs.
All right, of course. Speaking of Zanky, I forgot to mention about the conversation between the Ralph and the Penelope about Zanky. I mean, after all, the two of them happen to be wondering, does he then wax or was it a natural growth on the hair? It was because since that Penelope thought it was waxing because, well, then at first the hair on the chest looked like it could be a natural born growth. I mean, after all, then all you just gotta do is just happen to take an electric razor and then there you go. But except in while pretty much the small patch of hair was on the chest, look down below near pretty much the boots, and those are the small patch of hair sticking out from the boots. But except the rest of him is baby smooth. And I mean, even Ralph could believe it. But except in Zanky pretty much and as well too, then joined the book club, and he joined, and they were now living a good life. And pretty much it ended up with the arcade opening up. And Ralph looked kind of sad, but except he was still happy for his friend Penelope. Yep, it was a good movie, all right.
So that ends the movie Wreck-It Ralph.
Yep.
How would you rate this movie?
I give it a pretty good, I give it a pretty good 8.
And what did you like about it?
Well, pretty much the following. I like how they put everything from the internet into it, and I also And I also happen to like the idea about them teaching people to be careful of him with the .net. Because after all, once you get in there, you'll take a flipping minute to get out without a virus following you around. But except out of it all, there's only one thing which really got me. The movie paid tribute to a great man. Paid tribute to Stan Lee by actually putting a small character of himself among the rest. They paid tribute to a great man, and he will be missed. Marvel will never be the same without him coming into the movies. Marvel's gonna miss you, Stan, and so will all the true believers. Everyone's gonna miss you, Stan. Rest in peace.
And as for this Black and Red OC, I give it a 10 out of 10 because it was the good one, but the other record, well, was kind of good too.
Yeah.
And pretty much I liked all the references and all the bits. Pretty much they throw Stan Lee in there. Thumbs up to that.
Got that.
Pretty much all in all, I liked it.
Mm-hmm. But I think there might be a sequel coming maybe. I mean, after all, it's a possibility. You never know what's going to come in 2019.
Oh no. This is CARTOONZ signing out. See everybody in the next one.
Farewell.
Comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. This is CARTOONZ sign out. See my edgelords in the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness the most spectacular stunt ever performed under this roof. Hey, Mom.
Opposite of what I say.
Conrad had a way of breaking the rules. His sister Sally had a way of enforcing them.
Hope you're going to ground him.
Yes, Sally, for a week.
But today,
Hi, Mrs. Kwan. I'll be back in a couple of hours. No one sets foot in the living room or else.
all that will change.
Who are you?
I'm the cat in the hat. Careful.
Phenomenal.
That measures how fun you are. You guys are both out of whack. You're a control freak, and you're a rule breaker.
So what do we do? Mom says we're not allowed in the living room.
Come on, kids. You know you want to. Stop this right now.
The fish is talking.
But is he saying anything? No.
You kids, I told you we could have fun. This is why I don't have children.
This holiday season,
Meet thing one and thing two.
the classic tale comes to life.
No opening the crate.
So, what do you want to do?
I'll make cupcakes.
This amazing device can make cupcakes out of anything. Did you say anything? Anything. Anything. Yes, anything. Anything. I'll get you, and it'll look like an accident.
And you'll find one thing
Wicked cool.
Let the 12-year-old cry.
or another
Your children are running around town with some weird, hairy man.
around every corner.
They're wrecking the whole house.
From Brian Grazer, the producer of The Grinch,
The mother of all messes.
comes the ultimate game of cat and mouse.
Someone needs to clean this place up.
I know just the guy to do it.
Mike Myers,
This filthy thing?
He ruined it.
Honey, it was ruined when she bought it.
the Cat in the Hat.
You need to clean this mess up.
I'll try.
You'll try. You do.
Yes, ma'am.